basically within INOFO, I just want to give a brief history of what is INOFO, because it's not a new organization. It's a network of already existing organic farmer organizations. And here we specifically want to mention that we all are farmers. We try to not represent farmers, but we are ourselves want to speak for ourselves. Because in the past and in the present, we see many at local, national, international, many other stakeholders in the organic value chain do speak for farmers. And we have realized that it's been a struggle for farmers to even have their own voice within the organic network as well as outside the organic sustainable network. And that's why the importance of INOFO comes into play when we are speaking for ourselves. But just to mention, INOFO is a self-organized structure of organic farmer organizations within IFOAM Organics International, and hence has its own structures that they have developed by themselves, but still being a part of the umbrella organization of IFOAM Organics International. So when we continue to have this one membership going forward within IFOAM Organics International, we still try to maintain our identity as farmer organizations going forward. Now, this is the, actually here I would also like to mention that as we went through the pandemic and are still in the situation, all the dynamics have changed for us drastically. Like the earlier physical meetings after every 3 years then got reduced to 1 year meeting each other on the council of INOFO. And now it's almost like this, where we have hybrid events. There's many on the virtual platforms and only a few meeting in person. And that is something is a challenge for also running the organization, and still an opportunity because we can at least communicate with each other to take our all work on ground on the sustainable production that we do for years. So yeah, so basically now it's this kind of a format where it's very difficult to understand the cultural dynamics and the backgrounds from where we all have come as organic farmers, and to build our own strategy plan going forward as an organization. But I think the Food Systems Summit dialogues where we participated last year definitely brought to us a communication channel, I think, which works perfectly in this situation to get to our membership in an effective way and come up with the solutions to these international platforms, which we were not able to do it that efficiently in the earlier years before pandemic. So I think it has definitely, with the stress and the situation dynamics with the pandemic, we have found one solution through the Food System Summit, which is the communication channels within the organization and outside. So in organic farmer organizations, as I said, we want the farmers to be on the decision-making process, and only those organizations, we call them as organic farmer organizations. Next, please. And so what we are doing with this continuous pandemic and what all dynamics we have is that we are finding solutions to the existing problems, and there are works going on at various levels. So now this is a picture from Philippines, where you can see the Bayanihan Women's Organization conducting a farmers' field day and doing the morphological characters of several traditional rice varieties in the Davao city. Because these traditional varieties and the nutrition that they have sustained us through not only the pandemic, but the severe climatic stress that we have over the years before the pandemic, and which continues. Similar PGS activity in Sumatra. Next, please. Yeah, in Africa, we had this is just a representative picture, but farmers were not able to attend the seed fairs, which is a common activity for exchanging seeds, especially for those following organic and agroecology on their farms. And the limited access of seeds has, to a certain extent, reduced the diversity that they would eat normally, and has then eventually affected the nutritional security at various levels. But it's mainly about the seed festivals that farmers could not do and could not have the exchanges physically. Next, please. In Oceania Pacifica, that's the Pacific Islands, New Zealand, and Australia, local agroforestry-based multi-cropping systems still continue as during the pandemic. And as I said, because of this multi-layer system that we have, which harnesses sun to its maximum extent, and which is traditionally followed over the years, it has helped to build the resilience, which actually none of the modern technologies or seeds have helped to do so. So we continue to do that in this region as well. Yeah, in many cases, now this is an example from Latin America, but this is similar cases has happened in rest of the world as well, where earlier we had the physical markets, like you can see the local markets every weekend or every day of a week. But now many people have shifted to online markets, and this many have done just by themselves, by figuring out through internet and trying to understand themselves. But imagine if there was a support from the government, support from some other organizations, it would be magical, is what we feel, that without any support, we can convert our physical markets into virtual markets. And now many people's businesses have grown with the growing awareness on nutrition, growing awareness on health, with the pandemic, which has increased the sales of many organic farmers as well. Next, please.
Shamika, you have 1 minute.
Yes, about to wrap up. So whatever works we were doing before the pandemic, we still continue to do. There are close down of organic shops at a certain level, which were a very small scale, run by organic farmers. Then there are situations where people's organic businesses have flourished. But what I see overall is that we continue, and our ambition or the mission to unite organic farmers and support their voices of farmers at all levels continues, because the vision to give the nutritious, healthy food and protect Mother Earth continues. And it doesn't, all these bigger challenges, I think, as the seed sprouts under stress conditions, for a seed to sprout, you need stress as well as opportunities. So it's that when the seed sprouts, and only with having moisture, its seed doesn't sprout. You need sun and wetness and moisture at a consistent thing. So I think these stresses have definitely helped to build the movement. And we continue with this. But the Food Systems Summit is where farmers should be involved. And just to connect you, as I saw many government department people joining these discussions, it's important to know that ALGOA is a platform, Asian Local Governments for Organic Agriculture, initiated by IFOM Asia, where INOFO is a member. But this is a platform where government officials or departments become members and collaborate, work with civil society, working on organic agriculture and sustainable regenerative agriculture, working together. So just as a brainstorm of going forward. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to represent our work in INOFO. I'm sure I've not covered all the points, but I try to represent our group here with the invitation from our dear friend and colleague Esther. And thank you for giving this opportunity.